live in our studios on Kariba Avenue. This is QTV Nightly News and I'm Jacqueline Coley. Thanks for joining us. Here are the main news headlines. The annual Banjul International Surgical Scientific Conference began on Friday, gathering over 200 participants from the Gambia and around the world. After a 4-year suspension, the Africa Cup Nations Championship qualifier between the Gambia and Algeria next month will take place at the Gambia's Independence Stadium, following temporary approval granted by the Confederation of African Football, CAF. On Saturday, the First Lady, Fatoumata Barrow, was the guest speaker at the commemoration of World Autism Awareness Day, organized by the Gambia Autism Support and Advocacy Network. During his nomination on Saturday, Saliu Jallow, the PPP candidate for the upcoming Banjul Half-Day Ward by-elections, expressed strong optimism about his chances in the polls scheduled for April 26. As part of the Kanife Municipality Environmental Project, the UN at 75 Kotu Park, constructed at a cost of $8 million, was officially handed over to the Kotu community on Friday. Those are the headlines and other news in detail. Thank you for joining us. Now, the annual Banjul International Surgical Scientific Conference began on Friday, gathering over 200 participants, including surgeons, scientists, medical students, and health care professionals from the Gambia and around the world. Yafatu Gay tells us more.
The two-day conference serves as a vital platform for exchanging research, innovative surgical techniques, and the latest developments in medical technology. Its main mission is to enhance global healthcare systems and save lives, with a particular focus on addressing the unique challenges faced by the healthcare sector in the Gambia. This year's conference focuses on access to essential emergency surgical care in the Gambia, highlighting the need for efficient services in resource-limited settings. The sub-theme, Use of AI in Surgical Training and Practice in Developing Countries, explores how AI can improve surgical training. The event aims to find solutions to enhance emergency surgical care in the Gambia and similar regions. Dr. Abubakar Jah, chairman of the local organizing committee, emphasized the gathering's importance in advancing surgical care in the Gambia. He also expressed gratitude to everyone who supported the event's success.
The benefits of such an annual conference are immeasurable, saving lives and equipping the medical team to even do their work better.
Prof. Herbert Ribbenson, Vice Chancellor of the UTG, and Prof. Serine Magay Gay, former President of the West African College of Surgeons, discussed the importance of this year's theme and emphasized the need to strengthen collaborations to improve surgical care in Africa.
As we also discussed the sub-theme, which is relevant, we must remember that artificial intelligence is at the frontier of a transformative era. Artificial intelligence offers unprecedented opportunities to leapfrog barriers in surgical training and practice.
We should improve communication and knowledge sharing in the sub-region. We cannot work in silo in Senegal, in the Gambia, so we should take it as a whole and work together.
Dr. Malvin O. George delivered the keynote address on access to emergency surgical care in the Gambia.
A 2016 study reported that 7 procedures account for about 80% of the operations. And these are appendectomy, peptic ulcer disease, number 2, number 3, cholecystectomy, number 4, partial colotomy.
Prof. Per Gomez, Minister for Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, outlined the government's agenda for promoting medical research in the Gambia.
Because of the challenges that we are having, the Gambia government, under the leadership of His Excellency President Barrow, instructed my ministry to ensure that we work with you to now change the medical landscape in this country.
The surgical care system in the Gambia faces challenges such as limited infrastructure, a shortage of skilled professionals, and inadequate resources, affecting service accessibility and quality. The conference aims to create a network of healthcare professionals and researchers to improve global healthcare through collaboration, knowledge sharing, and innovation, focusing on sustainable solutions for countries with limited healthcare access. Reporting for QTV News, this is Yafat Gay.
Now, after a 4-year hiatus, the Independence Stadium is set to welcome football fans once again as it hosts the much anticipated CHAN qualifiers between the Gambia and Algeria in May 2025. Following extensive renovations, the Confederation of African Football (CAF) has granted temporary approval for the venue. Here is Mumutu Gadaga with more.
This marks a significant step in the stadium's path to regaining its full status and paves the way for its return as host for international matches. The Ministry of Youth and Sports announced in a press release on their official Facebook page Friday evening that, following an inspection of the Independence Stadium on Wednesday, April 9, 2025, CAF has granted temporary approval for the facility. We spoke to Minister Baji, who provided additional details about the approval.
Temporary approval means that it's an approval which is subjected to some conditions that we should be able to meet within a period. But in the meantime, we are allowed to play our next 2 matches, which is the CHAN against Algeria and under-20 against Cote d'Ivoire. But we are asked to purchase the machines that are necessary for the proper upkeep and maintenance of the pitch, whose machines we've explained are not available, but there's already a procurement process ongoing to purchase them from France, where it is available. And we hope that once those machines come and we're able to do that work and CAF is able to acknowledge that, then will give us a full approval as expected.
The Gambia last played a competitive match at the Independence Stadium on March 25, 2021 against Angola. Since then, the facility had been banned from hosting matches, prompting the Gambia government, through the Ministry of Youth and Sports, to embark on a major renovation project to remodel the stadium to meet CAF's approval standards. After the initial inspection on October 30, 2024, approval was not granted ahead of the crucial AFCON qualifier against Comoros, which the Gambia lost 2-1 in Morocco. The news of the temporary approval has been met with relief by many Gambians, including sports journalist Seh Tijan Gay.
You as a journalist, you lived it as a fan first before being a journalist. So imagine if we have, let's say, 30,000 people or the whole country living to that vibe, and then let's say 20,000 people coming to the stadium with that vibe. That itself is something that is not describable. It's something that people have to live in order to understand, and that's what we've been missing. And Gambia is a football crazy nation, and for 4 years you don't have the opportunity to play at home. It's something that is inexplicable, but here it is again, and I'm pretty sure that first game that the senior national team is going to play here, even the CHAN team, I'm anticipating a lot of people to turn up.
To receive full approval from CAF, further improvements are needed, including upgrades to the pitch, VIP areas, and structural adjustments to ensure safety for all during and after matches. Gambian football fans will be eagerly awaiting full approval ahead of the World Cup qualifiers in June. Mumudu Gajaga, QTV News.
That's some good news for the football enthusiasts. So moving on Saturday, the First Lady, Fatoumata Barrow, was the guest speaker at the commemoration of World Autism Awareness Day organized by the Gambia Autism Support and Advocacy Network. Amna Bukar was there, and this is our report.
Usually commemorated on April 2nd each year, the event began with a march past from Alliance Francaise to the Youth Monument at Westfield. It brought together government officials, families, advocates, and community members, all united in their commitment to creating a more inclusive society for individuals with autism. Autism spectrum disorder is a developmental disability characterized by challenges with social interaction, communication, and repetitive or restricted behaviors or interests. Each person with autism has a unique set of strengths and challenges. Their learning, thinking, and behavior can vary widely, ranging from high-functioning autism, where a child is verbally and intellectually adept, to low-functioning autism, where a child may be mostly unresponsive. In the Gambia, autism affects 82 out of every 10,000 births, ranking the country as the 61st most affected nation out of 198 countries worldwide. Despite this, the need for early diagnosis and intervention, critical for helping autistic individuals access the support they need to thrive, continues to be overshadowed by stigma and discrimination. Here are the First Lady of the Gambia, Fatoumata Babaro, and Doreen Dear, the Director of I Promise Care, a learning and development center for children with special needs.
Autism is not a weakness, it is a difference, and in those differences we find creativity, resilience, focus, and extraordinary potential. Yet too often, these differences are misunderstood.
Treat them as individuals and learn their skill. As we said, kids with disabilities, autistic kids are highly intelligent. Once you learn what their talent is, not all of them have a talent, but they are all intelligent, right? But the ones that do, if you focus on that and use that to then educate and teach them, sky's the limit for them.
This program marks the official launch of the Gambia Autism Support and Advocacy Network GASAN, which aims to drive real change and create a future where every individual with autism feels safe, accepted, and at home in the Gambia. Aissatou Keita is the board chair of GASAN.
Together, we can redefine what's possible. Together, we can create a future where every child has a voice, a place, and a chance. So I call on each one of you here today, whether you are a policymaker, a parent, a teacher, a journalist, or even a friend, to be part of the movement. Lend your voice, share your support. If you are able, we invite you to even donate. For us, no amount is too small. Every dollar goes towards helping a child and their family access the care, resources, and the love they need.
Harriet Bass is the representative of the Ministry of Gender, Children, and Social Welfare.
And we should raise our voices to ensure that these children are not discriminated, but instead they are supported and not neglected. They are children like any other child.
The organizers and attendees of the event reaffirmed their commitment to raising awareness and promoting understanding of autism in the Gambia, inspired by the powerful reminder of the importance of community solidarity in creating a more inclusive world for everyone. Mam Nabuka, reporting for QTV News.
We will now take a short commercial break. When we return, we'll hear from the PPP candidate for the upcoming Banjul Half-Day Ward by-election, as well as a recent roundup of court cases. Do stay with us.
Premium Basalt, now back in stock. In an effort to support the rapid infrastructural development of the Gambia, GATCH is proud to announce that our premium quality basalt is now available at our depot in Saro, near Denton Bridge. Our basalt has been rigorously tested by both national and private laboratories in the Gambia and Cape Verde, ensuring top-tier quality for road constructions, concrete, and buildings. Sourced directly from our partner's own quarry in Cape Verde, we guarantee a steady and timely supply thanks to the short shipping distance. We have 03, 38, and 816 basalt in stock to meet all your project needs. Every order is weighed so you receive exactly what you paid for. No guesswork, just precision. Visit us, GATCH Depot Saro near Denton Bridge, or call us at 457-4048 or 533-2009.
It is that time of the year again. The annual Taxpayers Award ceremony is back. The GRA will hold the 7th edition of the Taxpayers Appreciation and Award Ceremony on Saturday, April 12, 2025, and this time at the Cook Ocean Hotel Resort, commencing at 7 p.m. The awards is dedicated to our esteemed and valued taxpayers who consistently pay their taxes and duties on time, file their returns, present original and authentic customs document, present accurate declarations with the right tariff and classification, and comply with the provision of the revenue laws. This grand and spectacular ceremony will be graced by His Excellency the President of the Republic of the Gambia, Mr. Adama Barrow, cabinet ministers, senior government officials, members of the business community, and development partners. A memorable night is assured in this year's award ceremony. Remember, GRA is your GRA. GRA is our GRA, collecting revenue for national development.
GRA.
Wow,
Ça va? Ça va bien, Diab.
Oryx, with you all the way.
Powered by Africa, Oryx Energies.
Welcome back. Be reminded you're watching QTV News and I'm Jacqueline Coley. Now at his nomination on Saturday, Saliu Jallow, the PPP candidate for the upcoming Banjul Half-Day Ward by-elections, called on the youths and women of the ward to vote for him, expressing high optimism about his chances in the polls scheduled for April 26. And Sumana Sonyasi was there and he now reports.
The PPP candidate Saliu Jallow, popularly known by his initials MSJ, was accompanied by members of his party, the PPP, along with supporters from other opposition parties in coalition with the PPP for this by-election. He was also joined by members of the UDP Banjul chapter, among others. Speaking to the press, Mr. Jallow maintained that he is the clear favorite, citing support from several opposition parties and his reputation in the community as a youth leader who has been supportive of various community initiatives over the years.
My chances, of course, I believe in myself personally, and of course I believe as a team we can do more than what required to uplift our people, to touch them, to make sure what has been entrusted with us will be fulfilled by Allah's willing. We did this low one for not having any ambience music or whatever, out of respect from the Christian, from our Christian community, because they are observing their Lent, and of course if it was in Ramadan we wouldn't have to do it. So we give them that respect. So out of that, so we decided to come this way. Of course we could have pulled more crowd because this is a party and all people from all walks of life could have come.
Ibrahima Tabora Mane, party leader of the People's Alliance Party, and Honorable Modu Lamin Biba, National Assembly member for Banjul North, called on the residents of Half-Day Ward to vote for Saliu Jallow.
There's a single test that he's done that I think most Gambians should know about, that he was offered. In fact, he could have withdrawn. They've tried to discourage him and made so many promises that somebody without strong values, without strong principles, would have given up.
All what I believe in is progressiveness. And in doing so, I think it is very important to be genuine enough to also show my side of support, especially when it comes to such a competent candidate, which I believe he will never fail the people of Half-Day Ward.
Among those who were also at the IEC Banjul office to show support for the PPP candidate was the former National Assembly member, Honorable Duta Kamaso, and the chairman of the PPP Board of Trustees, Pawaka Job, who expressed optimism about Jallow's chances of winning.
He has people like me and many others that are backing him. I am sure we are going to win. This seat is for PPP. In fact, it belongs to PPP. If you go back to your archives, it belongs to us. So we are taking it back.
You are dealing with the most competent and formidable candidate. People will talk a lot, you understand? But the proof of the pudding is in the eating.
The Half-Day Ward by-election is scheduled for April 26, 2025. So far, only 2 candidates have submitted their nomination papers to the IEC, NPP's Bartolome Bolokoli and PPP's Saliu Jallow. Answana Isonyansi for KTV News.
Now, as part of the Kanifing Municipality Environmental Project, the UN at 75 Kotu Park, constructed at a cost of $8 million, was officially handed over to the Kotu community on Friday by the Kanifing Municipal Council in collaboration with the United Nations Office in the Gambia. Asatubari has more.
This park, managed by the Kanifing Municipal Council, will be used for sports and other recreational purposes. It was officially launched by the United Nations Office in the Gambia in October 2020 as part of the UN at 75 commemorations. The initiative followed a request from KMC officials for the park's rehabilitation. The total renovation cost amounted to $8 million, with the UN contributing $6.5 million and the KMC providing the remaining $1.5 million to achieve its current standard. The handing over ceremony, held at the heart of the newly rehabilitated park, brought together KMC officials, United Nations representatives, community leaders, youth groups, and residents who gathered to witness the symbolic moment. Talib Ahmed Bensouda, the Lord Mayor of the Kanifing Municipal Council, discusses the municipality's effort to transform Kanifing into a green, sustainable urban environment focused on the well-being of its people.
This park embodies our broader vision to reclaim and reimagine open spaces across the municipality as green, inclusive, with all the multi-purpose facilities that promote sustainability and environmental conservation. These greening efforts form the foundation of a broader strategy to green and beautify the Kanifing, transforming it into a model of sustainable urban development. Through accessible and inclusive green spaces, we are cultivating a city that is resilient, environmentally responsible, and centered on the well-being of people.
Carl Frederick Paul is the United Nations Resident Coordinator.
What makes this project really, truly special, it is that it's built entirely by young Gambians. Through our programming, this talented youth constructed the perimeter fence using compressed, stabilized earth block, a sustainable building technique that honors both innovation and environmental responsibility.
Baset Sise, the CEO of the Kanifing Municipal Council, urges the people of Kotu and the surrounding areas to preserve and protect the park.
The people of this great community of Kotu and the surroundings, who will be the most frequent users of this park, should take ownership of the park for the protection and preservation of this wonderful structure. This is a chance to take the initiative on a project that is desperately needed for everyone's benefit.
The Kotu Community Park now features upgraded facilities, including a children's playground, a food forest, a pond, gym equipment, a borehole, a solar lighting system, park benches, waste disposal bins, and a cafeteria. This development aligns with the broader goals of the CAP, which aims to transform the municipality into a model of sustainable living through circular economic initiatives, waste management reform, and the rejuvenation of public spaces. Aisa Tubari, QTV News.
In a recent roundup of court cases, key development including the ongoing investigation into the mysterious disappearance of 52 blocks of cocaine, a constitutional lawsuit over the delayed submission of the 2025 national budget, and a legal battle over crucial shoe evidence in the high-profile Ousseynou Bojang murder trial. Usman Jata tells us more.
At the Banjul High Court, narcotics officer Modu Kamara, fifth prosecution witness in the ongoing case concerning 52 allegedly missing blocks of cocaine, testified that the drugs were weighed at the Kanifing Magistrates Court in the presence of then Principal Registrar Ridwan Usman. On the cross-examination by Defense Counsel Musa Bachili, Kamara confirmed that the blocks were counted sequentially during the process. Kamara acknowledged he did not know the accused and only recognized Usman during the operation. When the defense requested the original version of Kamara's statement, the prosecution could not produce it. However, the court admitted a scanned copy into evidence. Tensions escalated when Bachili questioned Kamara about an ongoing investigation into fake drugs allegedly substituted and burned during last year's National Drug Destruction event. Although Director of Public Prosecutions A.M. Yusuf objected, Justice Sarah Aye overruled, allowing the question. Kamara denied any knowledge of the alleged incident. The Director of Public Prosecutions A.M. Yusuf also announced the addition of a new witness to the case. Justice Sarah Aye ordered that the witness's statement be disclosed to the defense ahead of the next hearing. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court, led by Chief Justice Hassan B. Jallow, has adjourned a civil suit brought by 4 prominent activists, Seth Mati Joe, Madi Jobate, Pa Samba Joe, and Babukar Nyang, against the state. The applicants allege that the National Assembly and the Minister of Finance violated Section 152 of the Constitution by submitting the 2025 national budget beyond the constitutionally mandated 60-day time frame. Representing the plaintiffs, lawyer Abdullah Fati argued that the Constitution clearly mandates the national budget be tabled at least 2 months before the end of the fiscal year. He emphasized that the parliamentary procedures are not beyond judicial oversight, particularly when issues of constitutional compliance are at stake. In response, State Counsel J.O. Okete conceded that the budget was submitted late but attributed the delay to ongoing financial negotiations with the International Monetary Fund (IMF) and the World Bank. He further contended that the case falls outside the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court, arguing that parliamentary standing orders vest procedural authority in the Speaker of the National Assembly. In the ongoing murder case, Justice Ibrahima Jaite rejected the prosecution's attempt to introduce a cobbler as a new witness in the murder trial of Ousseynou Bojang, who stands accused of killing 2 police officers and injuring a third. The prosecution intended to call the cobbler to verify the sizes of 2 pairs of shoes recovered from Bojang's residence. While Bojang admitted ownership of the white pair, he denied any connection to the brown combat-style shoes. Defense counsel Lamin J. Dabo objected, arguing that the prosecution had already closed its case. Justice Jaite upheld the objection, citing procedural fairness and emphasizing the importance of safeguarding the rights of the accused, underscoring the court's commitment to due process. That's the latest from the courts. Our reports were originally written by Nicholas Bass for The Voice newspaper and summarized by our editorial team. Osman Chata, QTV News.
That roundup there brings us to the end of the news, but before we go, here's a recap of the headlines. The annual Banjul International Surgical Scientific Conference began on Friday, gathering over 200 participants from the Gambia and around the world. After a 4-year suspension, the African Nations Championship qualifier between the Gambia and Algeria next month will take place at the Gambia's Independence Stadium, following temporary approval granted by CAF. On Saturday, the First Lady Fatoumata Bah Barrow was the guest speaker at the commemoration of World Autism Awareness Day organized by the Gambia Autism Support and Advocacy Network. During his nomination on Saturday, Salou Jallow, the PPP candidate for the upcoming Banjul Half-Day Ward by-elections, expressed strong optimism about his chances in the polls scheduled for April 26. As part of the Kanifing Municipality Environmental Project, the UN at 75 Kotu Park, constructed at a cost of $8 million, was officially handed over to the Kotu community on Friday. That's all for now in this news bulletin. Join us tomorrow at 8 p.m. for the Week in Review with Mamadou Mbodj and Usman Jaffa. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.